What's up, everybody? Welcome to some Tishana Thunderwave. Hope you're excited to go cruising on that wave. I don't know, that doesn't make sense, but let's have some fun. As far as the opening hand goes, yeah, I guess we'll go and keep on this one. Hopefully we hit at the third land drop. We get down Awakening Zone, and then Shaman of the Forgotten Waves, and then we also have Prophet of Crewfix in the hand, so that sounds pretty fun. Let's go and pop up a Tishana over here, get Arcum squared up. There we go. Just hate it when they're not even up like that. But yeah, we're probably going to go ahead and lead off with, okay, get down the Misty. I thought I accidentally yielded through my turn, and we would have missed our land drop, and that would have not been fun. Fun way to start the video at all. We are playing Tishana, Voice of Thunder. Tishana's power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your hand. You have no maximum hand size whenever Tishana enters the battlefield. Draw a card for each creature that you control. Okay, just Jolt Amulet. Sure, go for it. I thought it was that old school. The background on it. It reminds me of. It looks. I thought it was the. Man, there's one card that kind of like messes with your mana or something. I can't remember what it is. I thought it was that for a second. Alright, get down the breeding pool. Anything else? That is all for the turn. Draw the Fierce Empath. Let's go and get the forest down. Let's go and go for Strionic Resonator. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we get the land drop for the turn. We can go for Shaman of the Forgotten Ways, or we can go for Awakening Zone, but we'll see exactly what we're going to go for. And then we're going to go and pass the turn. We're playing against Arcum. Target artifact creature's controller sacrifices it. That player may search his or her library for a non-creature artifact card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle his or her library. Alright, opponent's getting down the Coral Atoll. Enters the battlefield tapped, return to land, and then we have double colorless and blue. Go for it. Draw into Craterhoof, which is not exactly what we wanted to see at this point in the game, but it's okay. We're just going to pass it back over to our opponent. But yes, welcome to some Tishana Thunderwave. Now, what are we doing with Tishana? This is 100% just blue-green value stuff. So if you want to sound the Simic alarm, sure, go for it. I have never built a Simic deck for my channel, so this is the first time I'm building it. And really excited about it. I have a lot of the good kind of Simic all-stars in here. And then we have Compulsion, discard a card, draw a card, sack it, draw a card. Okay. Hopefully we hit that third. Oh, beautiful, we do. Let's go and get the forest down. And I guess at this point, Fierce Empath is just for a big creature. Shaman of the Forgotten Waves would put us into the range of Prophet of Crewfix for next turn. And that's going to kind of cut us off a Gilded Lotus. But yeah, let's go and go Shaman of the Forgotten Waves. We need to get our creature count up, especially against something like Arcum. So I'm okay with that. And then we can put in Crewfix next turn. It's going to be 1, 2, then 3, 4, 5. We can flash in the Fierce Empath, or if we draw into one of our mana dorks, we can flash it into the next turn. But yeah, so we have a lot of the one-drop, like elves out here, mana dorks, to kind of curve us out into a good Tishana trigger. And then outside of that, we have some good value creatures. We have stuff like Prophet of Crewfix, and actual Crewfix himself. We have Rashmi in here. We have Cadell. So it's all of your favorite Simic people in one deck. It's like the Simic All-Stars over here. Alright, Temple of Mystery. I guess it's going to go Prophet of Crewfix, see if this is going to stick. That's going to be 1, 2. Let's go double blue. And then green. Let's see if this is good. We might be running into a counter spell, but at this point right now, I'll see if it sticks. If not, we can go Temple of Mystery and kind of see what we can kind of drum up off the top part of our deck. So if it is a counter spell, so be it. At least we're kind of drawing it out for Forbid. And they discard 2 cards to draw it back. I'm pretty sure. Is that correct? With buyback. Yes, they did cast that with buyback. Let's go and get down the Temple of Mystery. Let's get the Scry going. Put a charge count on there. Sure, go for it. Get the Scry. Wood Elves. Yeah, that'd actually be pretty good. Put it on the top. Because what we can do is we can... now, if they want to go for the... They can counter it if they want to. But if it does stick, we can actually use the Strionic Resonator to copy it to get a couple more... to double that trigger to get it on the battlefield. So if they do tap out for that, we definitely keep that in mind. But we need to keep in mind that they do have that counterspell in the hand, because sometimes when I get kind of wrapped into commentary, I forget about stuff like that. So, but as far as Tishana goes, man, I've really enjoyed playing Tishana so far. It feels really good just to build like a, we're running about 36, 35 creatures in here or something like that. So it's a pretty heavy distribution of creatures in here. And especially when you're just oozing with value pretty much at every turn of any sort of creature getting out there. It's just a really fun deck to play. Okay, so we got a Wood Elves coming down. Let's see if this is going to draw out a counter spell. So we'll just go ahead and go double green. And then one more green. We want this one to stick. They're not going to have enough to buy it back. Okay, and then let's go ahead and copy the triggered ability. Oh, yes, there we go. Get double forest on the battlefield. Oh, yes, and we can also go and grab the Tropical Island, and then let's go ahead and grab the Dryad Arbor. That way we can kind of keep our creature count up. And then enter the battlefield, and put it onto the... Actually, we may just go and grab another forest if we're going to go for Fierce Empath, because we're not going to be able to tap the Dryad Arbor. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's get the force down. Let's go for Fierce Empath, because we got the Wood Elves to stick. That's the main thing that we wanted to stick. And so if our opponent's saving that buyback to go for Tishana, hey, you know, it is what it is. We can just run it into that counterspell to get it taken care of. Or we can simply just kind of start outvalue our opponent. You know, they are left with that card in their hand. If they don't really want Fierce Empath on the battlefield, then they'll have to counter it now. And that kind of leaves us free for Tishana. Okay, which is exactly what they do go for. But we have super secret Crater Hoof in the hand. Hey, shh, Crater Hoof, don't be too loud. Don't stomp around. Arcum he can smell stuff like that. All right, opponent's going for... Sorry, I'm talking to Crater Hoof. This is an early morning video, just to give you a heads up, and just a little goofy. All right, and we'll kind of re-rack on what we've got going on next turn. All right, so they did search up an island off that. So as soon as they make the land drop, we're going to cross that off. But as far as next turn goes, we do have Shaman of the Forgotten Ways. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What just happened? Compulsion. Okay, there we go. So they did discard that island, so we're going to cross that off. Activated Compulsion. But yeah, so next turn we're going to have 1, 2 from the Shaman of the Forgotten Ways. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to have around 8 mana. Let me double check that. It's 5. So yeah, 8 total mana. So we can get that down. If we wanted to just squeeze in some Crater Hoof, we could. It's not going to be the best use of Crater Hoof, more than likely. But if we do draw into Time Twister. So, is there any way we can actually get down to Tishana and Gilded Lotus? So, let's say that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to be a little bit away from that. I think if we're going to go for something, let's go and go for Tishana. We need to really get that card draw going. Our opponent's completely tapped out pretty much. And so, I feel pretty good about this. Let's go Shaman of the Forgotten Ways. Let's go double blue. That way we can make a nice wave for Tishana. 1, 2, 3. That'll leave us 1 more mana, so if we draw into like a little elf or something like that, we can go for that. All right, anything else? No. But we do draw into Regal Force, which is going to be good. So if we're worried about a counterspell on the last card, what we can do is go for Regal Force. We have a lot of green creatures on the battlefield. We have 3, and it'll be 4 once we go for Regal Force. And then we can kind of go for a counterspell test, and then go for Crater Hoof the following turn. But depending on what they get out, that's going to be 4 creatures on the battlefield. Thematic Compass, okay. So we're going to have 4 creatures. That's going to be 16 total damage. We can be able to squeeze in plus 3. And then Crater Hoof with the draw. So we'll just say it's a plus 7. So we're looking at about 26 next turn. So they're sitting at 30. So we don't really have a lethal Crater Hoof just yet. But depending on how they sequence it, like right now, they're just kind of rolling out some slow value stuff against Arcum. If we do want to go for the Regal Force, we can go for that. All right, opponent gets down Mannequin. Little artifact mannequin creature over there, and they're at 0 cards in hand. So if we can somehow deal with that mannequin on the battlefield, actually they can actually activate it in response, so that would be something. Now what we need to watch out for with them having an active mannequin on the battlefield is that they can search up something like Spine of Ish or whatever it's called, and then they can kind of blow up spot removal, whatever we've got going on the battlefield. Let's go and get the Harbor down. I think at this point, do we just want to kind of slow roll some value out? That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We go 5 off the Gilded Lotus. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can still go for the Regal Force. Draw some cards. And still squeeze out some value. I think that sounds good. Let's go and go for the Gilded Lotus. It's going to enter the battlefield. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, triple green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll add double green on that. 5, then 6, and 7. Then 1, 2. And right now we're just kind of trying to squeeze out as much value as possible. And with them having an Arcum, no cards in hand and an active Arcum, we'll see what they want to search up with that. Maybe we can just kind of push in some extra value. Okay, and then we have no max hand sign with Tishana, so we've already made the land drop for the turn. And then we do draw into Reclamation Sage, which is pretty good. Let's go ahead and push in with Tishana. I think that sounds good. You know, maybe we connect for 9. That's really going to open us up for a good Crater Hoof next turn if they just let this go through. They could declare the Mannequin as a blocker and then sacrifice it in response to that, which is more than likely what we're going to see. So, and with them having 0 cards in hand, if they have it in the deck, I would assume that they're going to search up something like Mirror Turbine to get that on the battlefield and get those artifact creature tokens rolling. So that could be something that they would search up. If they do have to use it for that, then I feel like we'll be in a pretty good spot. And then we can always Reclamation Sage on it. Because if they do tutor up something like Darksteel... There we go, Mirror Turbine. All right, getting the creatures going. But yeah, so we can go Reclamation Sage on that. That'll kind of cut them off that line. Now, the only kicker is, if they do go for that, they do go for Darksteel Forge. That's going to kind of put us in a spot to where all their artifacts are indestructible, and that's definitely going to put us on the Crater Hoof game plan, which with us sitting at a 9/9 and a 5/5, just because usually the way you want to think about Arcum is you need to get as many activations as possible, as quickly as possible. If you go for Mirror Turbine, you get down the Darksteel Forge, then you kind of have that repeatable tutor source, you have that indestructible source too with the Darksteel Forge, and then you're kind of good to go from there. But one of the big things that's hard to do with that with a bunch of 1/1 indestructibles is trample. You can just really push past trample really quick, so we'll see what they draw into this turn. If it's just, hopefully it's not a good card. I don't mean that in a bad way, but hopefully it's not, because we've got some good stuff rolling, and if we do go for Crater Hoof next turn, we've got a pretty good high chunk of cards in the hand, because that'll be 5/25. Yeah, we can actually push in with Crater Hoof next turn and not really, I mean, we might have to worry about something like Spine coming down to kind of take care of a creature, but we'll see exactly what they're going to search up on this one. Might be Darksteel Forge, but we'll see. 1,000-year Elixir, okay. Untap target creature. So I guess technically they could go untap. They go for artifact creature. They go for Paradox Engine. That'll give them a couple more, but they're going to have to find a way to untap the Mirror Turbine. So we'll see if we're dead this turn. Kind of curious. But yeah, it's kind of like with Arcum. Arcum's one of those that I was really surprised when they unbanned Arcum, to be brutally honest. Okay, tap 2 untapped artifact you control, and then untap target artifact. We're going to untap the Mirror Turbine. We'll see if we can get out from underneath this. But yeah, I found it kind of weird in the 1v1 commander update that they banned a lot of the tutors, and then they're like, oh, well, you know, we banned a lot of your tutors, but hey, here's Arcum and Yissen. I just thought it was weird in the same update. I was like, what kind of message are we sending over here? Alright, Clock of Omens, 1,000-year Elixir, untap target creature, untap Arcum. At this point, we're just tapped out, so I'll just go to F6 and let them do their thing. Sacrifice that creature, and we'll see what they're searching up on this one. Hopefully we're not dead. Okay, opponent goes for the Lattice. They're all artifacts, excuse me, are all artifacts in addition to the other types. So now this is where if they go for the Mirror Turbine, untap, we'll see exactly what they're going to go for on this one. But I may end up going posting this video up still because, I don't know, it's fun. We almost got to Crater Hoof, but you can see where Arcum is not really... Why they unbanned Arcum, I'm not really sure, because it's like nobody uses Arcum for good. That's what I keep falling back on, is nobody's going to build like, oh, this is a good Arcum deck. Even like my good Arcum deck, which is Bomb Squad, is still busted. I mean, we're not using like Larry David's disc and something, a bunch of crazy stuff. But, and then opponent wanted Darksteel Forge. Well, I do apologize. I mean, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so it's kind of one of those like, Arcum is just, it's not used for good. I don't know. I was really kind of surprised whenever they unbanned it. You know, Yissen, it's not that bad playing against the Yissen. If you can keep Yissen under control, it's okay. But when Arcum gets going, I mean, you add in Paradox Engine. Like, I have Paradox Engine in my deck, and it is just... that you just have some of those terms where those turns where you're just kind of like, I feel bad. Sorry. It is like you're going so commander fast that your opponent's just kind of sitting there shaking their head like, man, this is brutal. What's going on? I guess, you know, part of this goes for the Darksteel Forge, and I guess, what else can they search up to? I guess they go for Larry David's disc to untap it and have 1 mana to blow everything up. I guess that's what they're sequencing on this one. Sacrifice that creature. We'll see what they're going for. But yeah, when Yisun was banned, I was like, I guess the argument could be made for it to be banned, but I felt it was okay. But Arcum, I was like, probably should go and stay on that ban list. Arcum's a bad boy, man. There's Narset and there's Arcum. They're bad people. All right, so we have Unwinding Clock. Untap all artifacts you control during each player's untap step. So it's gonna make it fun. We'll see what we can do to kind of get going after this. Make the Mirror Turbine, and that's going to untap all the artifacts, so that's going to still give them some more. Will that give them enough options to? They can keep making some of the tokens to keep going for that. Okay, sacrifice the Mirror token. But yeah, when you've got an all foiled out Arcum deck, our opponent's been probably sitting on an Arcum deck for a long time. Let's see if they're going to search up with this one. Larry David's disc. Okay, there we go. And that's why Arcum's not that fun, because it's just you turn everything into artifacts, just start blowing everything up. It's gonna blow up all the lands, and they have all the artifacts out there, and untap, and kind of go from there. Okay, we'll see what our opponent wants to. All right, hey, good game, man. Good game. All right, we're going to go and scoop it up because this is the exact reason why Arcum is, not a huge fan of Arcum in the, in 1v1 Commander. But, I played, so I can't really act like my stuff doesn't stink either. But you can see where they unban Arcum, and it's just not really that, not a lot of fun. But we did have Crater Roof coming down next turn if our opponent didn't have the opportunity to go off with Arcum. But the important thing is that they did it before we did. So, hey, good game to our opponent. So, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.